So we all know about the numerous paid subscriptions out there for royalty-free music, right? You got Epidemic Sound, Artlist, Motion Array, Soundstripe, the list goes on. But if you're anything like me, you've looked at the price tag and you're thinking, no way am I gonna spend that much per month on a subscription for music that I use in videos that aren't even making me a cent yet. So you're looking for actual free music that you can use in your videos and that doesn't give you a bunch of issues with copyright claims. I'm glad you're here, because I got you covered. I'm gonna give you my top 5 places to get free music to use on YouTube. Actually, make that 6, because I'm gonna give you a bonus tip here at the start. The best music to use in your videos is actually music that you've recorded yourself. This is the ideal scenario, that you record it yourself, you compose it yourself, it's all original to you, so you don't have to worry at all about getting copyright claims or anything. Now, I totally get that not everybody's a musician, or not everybody has time to record music, or like in my case, the kind of music that I record and that I make isn't always the right genre. I play folk stringed instruments, which don't really give you epic, for instance. So sometimes you just need to get some music out there, and I'm gonna give you my favorite places to find some music that I can't record myself. And I will leave all the links for these resources down in the description below, so it's easy for you guys to find them. Number 1, if you have a YouTube channel, you probably know about this already, but if you don't, now's the time to learn. Number 1 is YouTube Audio Library. And this is the audio library of stock music that is right inside YouTube Studio. So these are all songs that YouTube is fine with you using on their platform, and they will not give you any copyright issues whatsoever. There's a pretty large assortment in here, a lot of different genres, cinematic music, kind of more pop vloggy style music, some folk music. There's a pretty good assortment. I think there's like 1,500 tracks or so, not sure the exact number, but there's a lot of good stuff in here, and for some channels that I've worked with, I use exclusively YouTube Audio Library music, and it works out great. There is a lot of good content in here that you can tell great stories with. If you have a Google account, you have access to YouTube Audio Library. Just search Google for YouTube Audio Library, and the first search result that comes up should be taking you right to YouTube Studio, where you'll have the entire audio library. If you're already in YouTube Studio, you may be confused of where Audio Library went, because they removed it from the menu on the left and replaced it with Creator Music, which is a little annoying to me. YouTube's trying to do some new thing with Creator Music and expand their horizons and build new stuff, and it's great, yay, progress. But they kind of messed up the system and made it harder to find some stuff. So if you want to go back to the old Audio Library, just scroll down to the bottom of the page and click the little button that says Go Back to Audio Library, and you should be back to what you're used to. So there's some good stuff in here. A couple of my favorite artists are Patrikios. Yeah, I wonder if that's a pseudonym. I don't know, that's what he goes by. He has some nice kind of pop beats sort of stuff that can be useful for background music like you're hearing now. And my go-to for if I need some country or more folksy kind of sounds with an acoustic vibe is my guy Dan Lebowitz, however you pronounce it. He's got some tracks like this one that are really nice to have. Some downsides of YouTube Audio Library. Not all the tracks are the highest quality. I think that generally speaking, they're pretty well done, but not all of them are crazy good. And you know, it's always hard to find the perfect song for your project, and you know, YouTube Audio Library is no different. They don't always have exactly what you're looking for. But another big thing about music from this site is a lot of people are using it. It's probably the most popular free music source out there, and so a lot of the songs on here, everybody's kind of using them. There have definitely been times that I used a song I thought was, you know, super cool, and this is a great vibe for this video, and then a few months later I hear somebody else using the same song, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not the only one. So it can be kind of hard to give your channel a very unique vibe, just because this music is very widely used. So moving right along to number 2, and that is Audio Library, the YouTube channel. And yes, I know it's the same name as YouTube Audio Library, so I'm going to try to keep them distinct in this video because it's kind of confusing. But this is just a YouTube channel, not an actual song library in YouTube Studio. I've had good success downloading and using songs from Audio Library. No copyright issues, at least so far for me. And there are some really great songs on here. Notably that standing out in my mind are the compositions by Scott Buckley. He does like film score kind of music pieces that are just really powerful. And I've used a few of them on different projects, and they are really great. So the way this works, that's just a library, you know, it's a YouTube channel with a bunch of videos, and each one is an individual song. To download it, there's going to be a link below the video that says free download here or something like that, and it takes you usually to an external site, and then from there you can download the music track. In the case of Scott Buckley, I think it takes you directly to his website where you can leave an optional donation or something along those lines, but everything on here should be free, and I think it should be copyright free as well. A quick note from future me, because I forgot to mention this. Most of these tracks are licensed under Creative Commons, which means they are free to use, but you are required to credit the author, which just means copying and pasting the credit information that they provide into your YouTube video description, and then you should be good to go using these tracks. Some cons of Audio Library, the YouTube channel, are that not all of the videos are super updated. There's some songs on here that are from about 10 years ago or so, and sometimes the links for those downloads don't always work. So that can be a bummer if you find the perfect song and you spend hours trying to find it and then the link doesn't work to download it. That can be frustrating. And another gripe I have with this place is that it's really pretty difficult to search for a song or find a particular genre or anything, because it's just a library of YouTube videos that you have to kind of scroll through, and there's like hundreds or thousands of songs in here. They do have some playlists that are sort of helpful, like with cinematic music or vlog music or that kind of thing, but they aren't very comprehensive and they just leave a little bit to be desired. So that's kind of a bummer about Audio Library, but you definitely can get music here and it's another good resource to have. If you guys are finding value in this video, I'd love for you to smash the like button and subscribe and follow along for more storytelling tips and ideas, like where to find some good free music, because a good music track goes a long way to telling a good story. So we'd love to have you guys along for the journey. We are on to number 3, and that is Motion Array. And yeah, I know this is one of the ones I listed in that, you know, subscription music sites list at the beginning of the video, but they do have some actual free assets as well. They kind of fill some of the gaps that YouTube Audio Library doesn't really have much of. Motion Array is also like a full house stock assets platform, so it's got, you know, the motion effects templates and the stock footage and sound effects and music and this kind of the full array, so to speak. So to get started with Motion Array, you do need to create a free account, and then you can go to the music tab and then filter by free assets only. And then I would also recommend filtering further down to exclude Content ID. Content ID is something that a lot of music creators out there use, and from what I understand, it just helps them kind of keep tabs on how many times their song has been downloaded, who's using it, kind of gives them some analytics of what their song is doing on the internet. But the issue is that it can end up creating some copyright claims on your videos because of this Content ID thing. So I try to exclude that in my Motion Array searches to avoid having issues with that kind of claim. So some cons and limitations of a free Motion Array account. There's a pretty limited selection of songs. I'm gonna be honest, it's like 50 to 100 songs that are on here that are available for free and without Content ID. But in that limited selection, there are some pretty useful ones that I've found to be very handy, so I still think it's a great resource to have. Another downside is, like I said, even in the free category, the Content ID ones will generate a copyright claim on your video. So that's something to be aware of, and you have to watch out for that. The more I'm talking about it, the less Motion Array seems like a great resource. But there are definitely a few tracks on there that I have really enjoyed having, so I wanted to add it into this list because I have found it useful. All right, number 4, and this is one I discovered recently, UppBeat. And this is another platform that is a subscription paid platform, but they have a free option. And it's a little different than some, because instead of doing what Motion Array does, which is not give you any license at all unless you pay for a subscription, what UppBeat does is they give you 3 credits when you create a free account, and then they give you 1 additional credit every month, and those credits can be used to download a song. And with the song, when you download it, comes a license code which you paste into the description of your YouTube video, and that should make sure you don't get any copyright claims. So that's great. You get access to 30% of their library, and that's pretty expansive, so you get a lot of songs that you can download. The downsides are pretty obvious though. You only get 1 download per month, so you know that's pretty limited. And the major thing to know is that 1 credit only works for 1 song 1 time. The license code only works for the 1 application, so even if you want to reuse the same song in another video, you have to download it again to get a new license code to clear the copyright claim or to avoid a copyright claim on your video. So yeah, not really very realistic for running a YouTube channel where you're making a lot of videos and using the same music, but you know, it does work. I have tested it, and it's good to have this in your back pocket. Maybe you find just that perfect song that you want to use in this film or this, you know, video project, and you are able to use it the 1 time. It's just, you know, not the greatest solution for long term. I will note though that UppBeat is one of the least expensive paid subscription platforms for stock music, so there's that to note as well. Could be a good option if you do want to pay for something. And that brings us to number 5 on the countdown, and this is one of my favorite places to get music, at least recently, and that is Pixabay.com. Pixabay is a free assets place, so it's kind of like Motion Array. They don't have motion graphics and stuff, but they do have videos, stock pictures, stock kind of, vector graphics and illustrations, as well as music and sound effects. But it's completely free. There are no paid subscription walls. This is a free assets site. I think they make their money by selling advertising to paid subscription places like iStock Photo, Premium Beat, and things like that. You'll see ads for those. But all the assets on Pixabay are free, and I've had great success using the music and also stock pictures and things like that in my projects. Some of my favorite stock music tracks of all time that are near and dear to my heart because of the projects I've used them in came from Pixabay. So the majority of songs on Pixabay are also registered with Content ID, just like those ones on Motion Array. But what Pixabay does that gives me peace of mind about using the songs is that along with the audio file when you download it, you can also download the license file that goes along with it. So all the songs are licensed with Pixabay's license or whatever, free for use. So you can download this .txt file that has the license information. So when a copyright claim comes up on one of your videos, and that is a when situation, it's going to happen, but when that claim happens, you can go ahead and dispute the claim, check all the boxes, check the box that says you have a license, go in there and copy and paste the information from that license file right into the rationale box, and then submit the dispute. And very consistently, I've had good success in getting those claims dismissed. Sometimes it happens almost immediately, sometimes it takes a couple of days, but I think every time that I've submitted this dispute with the license file attached, it has cleared the claim no problem. So I've been loving having Pixabay as a resource to get free music. There are a couple of things that I have had to watch out for though. Again, just like all these other places, the quality, it's not always the greatest. I wouldn't say that the recording quality is poor, but just sometimes the arrangements and songs aren't that imaginative. But the one thing I would say to watch out for is, ironically, the non-copyright ID registered songs, or more specifically, the ones that don't have a license file to download. If they give you a license file, I've had great success clearing any copyright claims. If there's no license file available, then it's kind of anybody's guess if you may get a copyright claim or not. And if you do get a copyright claim, there's no clear, black and white rationale to submit to the entity creating the claim. Like I said though, most of the songs are registered with Content ID and include that license file, so pretty much all the time you should be good. So there you go guys, hope that was super helpful. My top 5 places that I've been getting royalty-free, actually free of charge music to use on my videos. I've been using a combination of these 5 different sites for the last 3.5 years or so and had really good success, so I hope you guys find this helpful. If you're a brand new beginner just starting out and you want to learn how to edit videos, incorporating some stock music into them in DaVinci Resolve, which is the best free video editor out there, then check out this playlist of tutorials right here. And I will see you guys over there. So to get started with Motion Array, you do need to create an account. It's a free account, so you go in there, create your account,